Business Metrics, and today I have some startup advice for you. My biggest piece for you if you're starting a company is focus. And when I mean focus, I know you probably heard this from a lot of different people, but I mean have like laser focus. I got this advice from Brian Lee. He was one of the co-founders of LegalZoom, and I've always had the focus from him. I'm like, what do you mean by having laser focus? What he meant by that is you do one product or one service and you do it really well. And you continually to do it until your growth starts diminishing. So if you have a 30% growth rate every year, you continually doing it, and you don't switch business models or expand even into the same sector, and you continually do that until it flatlines. When it flatlines, that means you either need to buy up other businesses and expand that way, or create a new service product. Example from this is Brian told me with LegalZoom that they ended up creating this out-of-the-box solution. Didn't work too well, almost made the company go under, and then they went back to focusing on just the services, and it continually grows. And if you look at LegalZoom, they still provide the same thing year over year because it's growing. So why switch if you're doing well?
I'm Mihal Baldwin from Graphically, and my entrepreneurial tip is remember that as a startup entrepreneur, there's nobody who believes in you more than yourself, and there's nobody who deludes you more than yourself. Make sure you're actually listening and talking to others to learn what the best thing is to do.
I'm Christian Lander from Stuff White People Like, and if I were to give one bit of advice to an entrepreneur, I'd probably tailor it a little more to my life as a writer. But creating a blog, creating a company, there's something really similar about it. You have to create a brand, and you have to do something for the user to have it grow, especially in the online world. And so what I said during my talk, and what I say before, is when you create content, you have to make content that is so good, that's so strong or compelling. And I mean, good's a subjective word. What I think I mean is compelling and engaging with the people who are reading it. That you don't have to ask them to forward it on. You don't have to try and entice them to do anything. The content, the project, whatever it is you're doing is so strong, they don't have a choice but to forward it on. That you can give them something that will make them feel great about forwarding on. It'll have them look like an early adopter, or it'll make them laugh, or there's a value to them. So asking them to do the work for you is always a mistake and a recipe for disaster. You have to do the work yourself, and you have to make it so great that they can't ignore it. And so that's my little bit of advice.
John Ramey, iSocket.com, founder, CEO. We're based in Silicon Valley. We do ad stuff for websites. Number one tip for new first-time entrepreneurs. People ask me, what are the qualities that you need to have? Is it perseverance? Is it passion? Is it intelligence? Is it coding skills? I think at the end of the day, you need to be stubborn and stupid. Because there's a logical, sane person would have quit my business and most other startups I know 40 times before they ever hit that inflection point. The point is you have to not be logical and sane. You have to be stubborn and stupid and stick with it.
Hi, my name's Sloane Brent. You can find me on Twitter at Sloane, S-L-O-A-N-E. I blog at thecosmopolitan.com, and that's cause as in C-A-U-S-E, about cause-filled living. And so my advice to startups, and for people who are looking to maybe not be full social entrepreneurs but want to do something about giving back in their company, would be bake it in from the very beginning. So think about what your company does and the core competency, and how you can tie that to something that might better society through partnership with a nonprofit or something else going on in your community. Do it from the very beginning, and then you won't have to worry about building it in later.
Doug Hines, I'm the founder of Path Wrangler, which is an adventure travel web startup. And my advice to entrepreneurs is basically get an iron gut, full on 2 feet in the water commitment. I mean, as far as talent, passion, all these things that are concerned, it's really pales in comparison to watching yourself be financially ruined. If you haven't been financially ruined, then you haven't really experienced the life of an entrepreneur. So, and that it's not that bad once you're actually in it. It's a life experience that you'll never, and it's very rewarding in the end, even in a failed business. So, get an iron gut, and you'll gain one by going through it.
Brian Gorbett with Microsoft. I run the Bismarck program for the Central region of the U.S. And the tip I would give, probably the most entrepreneurs that I talk to, the biggest piece of advice I give them is, which is probably very cliche, and many other people said, is just to stick with it. It's persistence. It's making sure that you're committed to it. Is probably the other one.
Hi, I'm Michael Ian Black.
I'm Michael Showalter.
We're with the firm Bancroft, Mathers, and
Where?
Borningware. And in terms of advice for entrepreneurs, do you have some?
I do. The journey is the reward.
I was going to say the reward is money. The reward is money.
Don't be focused on the result. Be focused on the process.
If you're going to focus on the result, do something where you make a lot of money.